Here today, guys, we're going to be checking out some eruptions that happened here on the sun. We've had a double, maybe even three hits that's coming, as you guys can see right there on the NOAA model. They are coming from basically the southern sunspots, but we did have one that kind of transgressed over the equatorial region right there, close to center disk. That one definitely produced a halo eruption, so that one's definitely going to be hitting us. We're going to take a deeper look at that. And here it is on Soho. This is the satellite. It's about 1,000,000 miles closer to the sun than what we are. And as you can see, as it rotates around here on the 8th, you can see a halo eruption right there. That did seem to be the biggest one heading our direction, but there were some other ones too that could be hitting us. There was one here on the southern end on the 7th, and we're going to take a deeper look at that too. So kind of hang out, and I got some new Aurora pics that came in from this past summer up till now. Most of those came from JPOS. Awesome dude, awesome dude, awesome dude. He's one of our mods here, guys, and came over from Marfugel, and he's just a great guy. So I'll be showing you guys those here. Well, heck, here's a few samples. Check these out. These are from. I'm just going to zip through real quick so you guys can kind of see what's happening here. These are beautiful ones. I mean, these are really well done, in my opinion. I mean, check that out. And that I believe some of these were taken during the event where we actually ended up with some orange aurora, which you can kind of see here. That ain't what we're looking at here. You're actually seeing, this is green down here, guys. It's not yellow, it's green. Remember, yellow and blue make green. So you can have a tint one direction or the other, and when it sets next to red, you do kind of see an orange color. It doesn't mean that there's aurora being produced that's actually orange. It's kind of a mixture. But we'll go into that in a little bit more detail as we get going here. Somebody give me a 5 for 5 in there if we could, and we'll go ahead and get started. And I really would, guys. Okay, sweet, Jammer. I sure will, brother. Yeah, for sure, 100%. But I do want to say thanks right away. Even before the stream started, we got us a new member. That came from. Let me go back here and look. I can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. My memory's horrible. Let the sunshine in. That's right. I kept thinking of the mamas and the papas when she when I seen that name. But yeah, the old song, "Let the Sunshine In." Wasn't that was that on the song "The Age of Aquarius"? I can't remember. The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius. I can't remember. That's really actually just a touch before my time, but still good music. It was playing in my house as a child. I know that much. But thank you again for becoming a member. And guys, I plan on doing a members only stream today, sometime later on. And we'll get into that a little bit later also. So anyway, guys, so we are 5 for 5. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Please share this out. This is a very different time than when I'm typically live. I didn't get a chance to come here last night and give you guys a proper live stream, so I just wanted to make sure I had everything going, and I just figured I'd wait and maybe try to hit some newer people that aren't really here, aren't able to be here on a normal live stream. Some of the other channel members and some of the other channel subscribers, everybody that, around the world and all that. I see Tab Piece here, and I understand everybody works and has different schedules, so don't think I'm saying anything like that. But yeah, guys, so let's just go ahead and get started here. Now, I did post something in my community tab yesterday, guys, and that came from Dr. Tamitha Sco. She was live, and I wasn't even home to be able to watch it. But I seen what she was talking about, and she was talking about, because I stopped in there and I listened for a few minutes. I didn't chat. I was going to, but I didn't have time. I couldn't, I didn't have a keyboard. I've been pecking on my phone, and it sucks when you're doing it like that. But she was going through some of these models and some of the space weather data and what to look at and what some of this stuff means. So I posted it in my community tab, and I hope that some of you guys went over there, or all of you guys would go over there and watch that. It was a live stream. I'm not sure exactly how long she was on because I haven't even been able to look yet. But the 10 or 15 minutes I was able to listen, she was really going into some good explanation about some of this stuff. So please go check that out. Dr. Tamatoscope. Just go to my community tab. It's my last community post. Check that out. It's really, it's college. It's free college for us laymen that, running around looking for answers. So anyway, so we had another long duration flare right here. Okay, yes, this is that halo. No, hold on a minute. This is not the halo eruption. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. This right here is there was a southerly eruption on the sun, and it looked like it was going to like completely miss us. But I think there's actually a chance it could either give us a glancing blow, or maybe even a little bit more than that. This is a long duration eruption. It's at least 3 hours there. You can see time frames here. These are 3 hour data plots down here on the geomagnetic activity. So if you kind of look up here, you can see exactly when these things happen and how long they last. And you can go look at the data too. I mean, it's pretty easy to see in the data most of the time once you understand what you're looking at. We can go over here to that data just for a second. I'm not going to spend too much on a graph because it gets very boring, and I get it. And that one there doesn't even act like it wants to load, but there it did. There it did. Okay. So what time did that happen? Let's just go look, and we will kind of line this up. So we got 3, 6, 9. So right around about 8, I guess, is when that one would start. And if we were to look, we can come back here at 8 UTC, and that would have started before this one's showing. It's back too far. Let's go ahead. Well, this space weather data wouldn't even be showing that anyway. This is not showing X-ray. This is actually showing like solar wind conditions. So yeah, we're not going to do that right now. But anyway, we can look at this data later. Anyway, okay, so here is the eruptions. Okay, now this is NOAA's version of the endless spiral model. Now you're going to see a NASA version of this also. Now they just take different data into consideration at a higher level or lower levels between the two models. Okay, so in other words, they're going to be different. They could line up pretty close, and a lot of times they do. So when both models are saying, "Hey, we're going to take a hit," usually that's a pretty good indication. Hey, we're going to take a hit. And one of the best things to go off of, and I found this to be even more accurate, is this right here. Okay, if you get an understanding of this satellite and how this satellite and this particular tool on the satellite, this coronagraph, works, and from our perspective, you get real good real quick on whether these things are going to hit. Okay, now I can tell you with certainty right now that when you see a halo eruption like this one, when you see that energy go all the way around this occulter disk, that's either coming at us and will hit, or it's going off the backside and it'll completely miss. When we see those types of eruptions, that's what you can draw that conclusion almost immediately. You just got to figure out, was it on the backside or was it on the front facing Earth? How do you do that? You come here. You look at the time when this one erupted. Okay? Now remember, that's the surface of the sun. Okay? So with that being said, we got about an hour from the time it leaves till we start seeing it come out behind this disc. That is a physical disc on the camera or the imager, and it blocks the main light of the sun so we can even get an image at all. And then this is a coronagraph. Now over here on SDO, this satellite is, like I said, this is called SDO, and this one's called SOHO. This one's right in front of Earth, 1 million miles closer to the sun. Okay, this one here is in geosynchronistic orbit, which means it stays over the same part of our planet at all times. It tends to hang. It does a figure 8 pattern, basically in the western part of the United States, and then it does a figure 8 pattern vertically. Okay, so it will go down into the South America region, but over the Pacific Ocean. Okay, but it stays on that longitude line right there, basically, because it's orbiting Earth at 15 degrees an hour, and that's exactly how fast we rotate around our axis. The GOES satellite systems are the same way. Okay, so when we do have eclipse seasons. Right now, GOES is in eclipse season. Now there's two differences here, and I think I've misspoken a few times on this, and it wasn't intentional. I don't know why I kept saying the Earth was passing in front of the satellite over here on GOES. That isn't what goes on here. Okay, what's going on here is you will see the moon. Okay, go in front of the satellite, and it blocks the detector, blocks the X-ray from getting to the detector. That's why you see, when you see these big vertical dropouts all the way down, that means all the data, the moon basically blacked out the satellite. It couldn't collect any X-ray data. Now, when you see these shorter ones, it's not really blocking the whole thing. So, but just make no mistake, this is still a data dropout, and this data is no good. We can't rely on this data for any kind of accuracy. It's just not there. We can't collect it. At least on this satellite. We can collect it on other satellites, but this right here, or even here on the ground. But this right here is, they use GOES for this. So GOES is also in geosynchronistic orbit. Now, you guys have seen GOES satellite stuff everywhere, okay? What I mean by that is you will see the satellite imaging that you see for thunderstorms. That comes from a GOES usually. All that kind of thing, right? You can go to the GOES website. You can go to George Mason University. They have all the GOES satellites in one hub over there. You can see the same data from the same satellites in multiple different places on the internet. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that when given the fact that we know that, right, we have just because it ain't showing up, like every once in a while we'll get these eclipse seasons, right? And one satellite might be having issues. So if you go over to one website, or maybe the satellite's not having an issue at all, but you go over to a website and you're looking for this data, right, that you normally look at, and it's not there. So you kind of think, well, this data's missing. Well, it's not. 99% of the time, it's not. You just have to go to a different website that is using the same data collection from the same satellite, because sometimes, guys, the websites have issues. Okay, usually that's where the problem is. People, they go on vacation, and I mean, guys, humans are uploading this stuff. So if they're having anything like that, that's what happens. So don't assume that just because we don't see the data on one graph, on one site, that the data isn't there. Go look elsewhere. Have to. And then, if it's missing on two, then my eyes will go up, hey, maybe we got a satellite issue, right? And that's when you start looking at everything that broadcasts that data. And if there's an issue, none of them will have it. So, most of the time when somebody says there's missing data, there's not. That's my point. And I used to be the same way. I just didn't know how to go about looking for it. And I would make that mistake often. So don't make the same mistake as I did, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so as I move through here, guys, this is the NOAA model, and this is top down, okay, and this is a side cut. So we got two different axes that we're looking at. Top down will give us east-west orientation of these eruptions. The side cuts will give us north-south. So if it's hitting on both, we can pretty much typically say, hey, this model thinks we're going to get a hit. Also, over here, the green line's what we're concerned with most of the time. That's the conditions coming at us at Earth, right? But there's also, you get the red line, which is stereo A, the other satellite, the conditions at where stereo A's at. And then stereo B is the blue line. And I don't mess with stereo B because we haven't been able to use that satellite for years. So, and I'm not getting into what happened with that and all that. So just understand that. But it is good to understand that stereo A here, you see what's happening here? It's going to get hit shortly before we do, and it's going to be more direct on stereo A. How do I know that without looking at it here? Well, because the density is way higher, and that's pretty much what I'm going off of there. You can pretty much conclude that from there. And you even see kind of a double hit here, just a little. You see a hit here, and then it spikes up and back down. It does look like they've got us scheduled for basically a hit, and then 24 hours later, another hit. So, or forecasted, I should say, not scheduled. But anyway, so you can see this thing, and also, this does 2 days historic data, and then it forecasts out 5 days in advance. I do not think that it's very accurate once it gets out to 5 days. They end up changing it all the time, and that's fine. It's just trying to give us. We got to understand it's just going to be a ballpark out here. Now, when it's here, I really want it to be a little bit closer to being correct. That's the goal, and I think that's what their goal is. But you can see this one eruption here, and it looks like it could be two. Okay, and that's stereo A. This is Earth, so you can definitely see why this CME is going to hit stereo A. Looks like right on the face. Okay, but that same CME looks like it's going to give us some sort of a glancing blow aside hit, and then you got this other one behind it. Okay, I believe that may even be a third one. Yeah, it is. That's a third one. So why are we seeing another hit right there? Well, because it looks like we may have taken a glancing blow from this one. So you got one going this way, one going this way. Is what it looks like. Okay. Now, sometimes those can be actually one CME, and then the solar wind, the spiral part of it, will actually kind of pull it apart a little bit. It'll start fanning out. So it becomes almost like two CMEs. So anyway, and they won't be as strong. But you can definitely see how we're right in the middle of this, and sometimes that can really give us a nice little smack. And what I mean by that, I've been trying to explain to you guys, for the past week or so, I've been using the boat analogy. Earth's going through space like a boat goes through water. It's just the water in space is highly charged particles, plasma from the sun. Okay, so when you have deeper water, right, that's these CMEs. So you're having to push through more of it. So that's what's happening there. So when the boat's going through the water, it has a wake, right? It fans out in the front, and you get the sides, and then it has, as if the waves just go in all directions, right? They'll go towards the shore and back out into the ocean or whatever. But the wake from two different satellite or two different CMEs, if they're hitting us at the same time, one on one side and one on the other, I mean, you can draw your own conclusion on that. I mean, it seems to me, and it seems to be logical that, hey, that might really give us a good little hit. But then we got this other CME back here that's going to hit afterward. Okay, it's actually even off the graph here. So that one there isn't supposed to hit until after the 13th. So that one's quite a few days out. So that is what the model is showing. Now NASA, it was showing one of these other CMEs earlier, but it switched over to a different CME. So I'm not even going to show it to you because it's not even going to give us anything that's useful to us right now. The CME it's showing now is a really, really small faint one going off the backside. So it's not going to affect us. But this is SDO, again, another satellite. This is an extreme ultraviolet image filter. This is the 94 angstrom of light. This is all that this is looking at right here. Now I'm going to show you some other angstroms here too. No other light is being represented here. They assign it a color. The 94 angstrom of light isn't necessarily this green color. Okay, that is a very perspective thing. When you're talking about colors and stuff like that, even different species here on our planet, guys, see different angstroms of light in different colors. So to a dog, the 94 angstrom might be something different than what it is to our eyeballs. So understand that color is actually perspective, depending on what you are as far as a species, even. So keep that in mind. Anyway, when we're looking at this, it's looking at a specific gas. We look at different gases to give us different visuals. So and it helps us understand things when we see different visuals. It gives us a deeper understanding of what's happening. So as you can see here, this is, I believe that this is that same area of the sun that had the 9-hour eruption a few days ago. Okay, and it is now, because I'm almost positive this is it. It was over here. And if you guys remember when it erupted that 9-hour CME, some of it was being occulted by the sun because part of it was on the backside. Now this thing is full-fledged looking at us, and look what it did. It wasn't as powerful. It wasn't as strong. It doesn't appear to be as strong. And it was about 6 hours long. But it is right in front of us. But it does look like the majority of this, just judging by this, looks like it could be going south of us. I don't think this is going to give us any kind of a direct hit. I do think there's a possibility this could give us a glancing blow. And that is kind of what this model was showing. Okay? So if we back that up, see how that's diving south? So, yeah. That's what we're looking at there. Okay? Now, I'm assuming that the one diving south there is coming from that particular area. Okay? But the halo eruption I'm talking about came from right here. So as we get going here, you're going to see it. You don't even really see much of a bright area here, do you? But look at that. This right here proves what I say all the time. You do not have to have some big gigantic sunspot to have eruptions or flares or any of that. Okay? So that's what you're seeing there. Hey, good to see you, Hilly. Hey, Kristen, I'm good to see you here too. I'm glad I'm hitting some of you guys that I don't really get to see a whole lot sometimes because of time differences. Anyway, so you guys, right there, guys. So we can see. Let's look and see if there's any sunspot right there. Look, there's no sunspot there, but we had an eruption right there, right? I tell you guys that all the time. So there's a lot of people who don't believe that happens, and for the life of me, I don't know why. These are all the current sunspots. This is the most up-to-date image. Well, minus about 10 minutes, I guess. Let's get the most. Yep, there's the updated one right there. So as far as Earth goes, there's Earth. These are the sunspots facing Earth right now. Do you see anything here other than right there? Now that is a little bit of some sunspot action going on, but it isn't an official sunspot. So we had an eruption from a place on the sun that was not a sunspot. It was more of a coronal prominence is what they call that. And it wasn't a very big one or intense one for that matter. But it did produce a halo CME. Now, what I'm going to do now, I haven't done this yet, and I waited on purpose. Because this could be a filament release. We don't get to see filaments very good on the 94 angstrom. So I wanted you guys to kind of see my process in that and how I look at it. So I come over here, and the best angstrom to look at would be the 304 angstrom. It's looking at ionized helium, and we see darker shadows and things like that easier on this angstrom of light. So you see, obviously, you're seeing these other eruptions, and see, look at that. See, that right there, that's even telling me. See, I hadn't looked at that yet. That is a very significant eruption, guys. Okay? To be honest with you, you heard me kind of pause when I first seen that. That was a little bit stronger than what I thought it was going to look like. I'm just saying. Now, with that being said, it also looks like it could be going off to the west, which is exactly what that is. When you're looking at the sun, east-west is a little is opposite. Okay, you got to pretend you're on the sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause that, and we are going to scroll up here, and we're going to just do this. Let's see here. Okay, you see the dark shadows? And it does look like that was a filament, a small one at that. You see this this line right here? I mean, that's very, very small and thin. Yeah, I think that was a small filament eruption. Now, if it's not a filament eruption, well, if you trace the filament back, you can see how it's still connected here too, but it erupted here on the end. And does it really matter for what we're talking about here? Not really. It just gives us a more better understanding of what direction things are heading. But you can see how it's spinning. It appears to be spinning. It's not really spinning. That's just the shape of the magnetic connection line there, the magnetic line that those charged particles are on. And it does look like it could, yeah, it was a little stronger than what I expected. So you can kind of see it even disrupting over here, but it's from our perspective too. This isn't all the way on the side of the sun. This is coming more of an angle at us and kind of to our right. I'm going to use left right because east west sometimes confuses people when I'm talking about the sun because it is reversed than what you would be looking at on a map. But do you see how this thing is standing up right here? So given that, this right here, if you were to connect it back to the sun straight down, it would connect probably right here. Not way over here where it looks like it would be. Okay? It's a perspective thing. It's an optical thing here that it throws it off if you don't know what you're looking at. So anyway, you can see how that's happening, and you can see where the filament was broke right here, and it does flick out like I talk about all the time. A filament is just like an old incandescent light bulb, guys. That's that little coil in the light bulb, and what it's there for when electricity passes across that, when you turn your light on, it completes a circuit. Electricity starts to flow. It goes through your light bulb, and inside the light bulb, there is a coiled small wire called a filament. It's there, and they coil it to cause friction. Friction causes heat, and the heat produces the light that you see. Okay, so that's how a light bulb works. And when the filament breaks, it goes out. Right. Well, the same thing is happening here on the sun. When the filament snaps off, it breaks on out into space. Okay, or it actually can get recaptured if it's not very strong. This one here definitely went out. So, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see some of the reports today and see if anybody else has a different view on what's going on there. But as far as what I'm doing, I'm nowcasting. I'm showing you guys current stuff, and that's what I do. I leave the forecasting, the major forecasting, to the people that are way smarter than me, such as Dr. Tamitha Scove. I don't have the knowledge base for it, but I can share with you what I know on this part of it, and show you what's happening currently. So, yeah. I'm not calling myself stupid or anything like that. I don't want to be irresponsible and give you guys some sort of direct forecast and be way wrong. It's just not responsible to do that. I used to try to do that until I realized that, hey, I was being wrong way more than I was right, so I stopped. But yeah. Anyway, so we're going to flip over here to this satellite. What we're looking at here is SOHO. Okay. If you guys could give me a roll call in there, that would be awesome. Hey, Angels Wings. Good to see you. Hey, Dan. Good to see you. Christopher Loebner. What's up? Yeah, the sun didn't dim. It appeared to dim. I know what you're talking about. I noticed it too. What time did you say you seen it? From 6 to 10 p.m. Central? That would be, let's see here, you got to add 5 hours. So that'd be 11 to what, 3 UTC? So right around here is where it would start. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing nothing there, but I know what you're talking about. Let me show you. Because the satellite did something weird. You see this? You see that? That is a known anomaly on the sun. Okay? Not on the sun, but on the satellite. Look at this. Right? See that? Okay? I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but that is something we see from time to time. The sun itself did not dim right there. That is a satellite anomaly. Um, if I was to show you the same time frame on a different satellite, this would probably look different. So as a matter of fact, I might just do that just so you guys can see it. Um, let's do this. I got an idea. Hold on 1 minute. Let's open up that. Let's go to Lasco. I don't want Lasco. I want Soho. Hold on. Let's go to... Give me 1 second, guys. I need to do something here just real quick, okay? I'm going to switch you guys to a view of this for a minute, okay? I'm going to talk to you, but just hold on there, okay? Alright, let's do this. Alright, let me bring you back over. So I got, this is Soho homepage, okay? And this is what I mean. You can go to bunches of different places to see this stuff, right? So we can go to either the gallery. I don't mess with this particular site very much, but we can go to, let's go to data archive. Let's look at, maybe, let's go to the sun now. This might go back far enough. It probably won't. And as you can see here, guys, if you look at this one, right? This was at 119. This always looks like this, okay? This is you can see like the checkered pattern. That's because the resolution isn't as good on this one. That's why. So I just want you guys to know that. But yeah, okay, let's go to this. Oh, cool. I didn't know you even had this. Let's go to, yeah, okay. This will work. We'll go to 284. We'll go to, what time it was. Okay, yeah, we'll do the 7th because the 7th to the 8th, okay? And we'll generate that. Let's see what it gives us. So let's play it and see if we see anything. Look what we're seeing there. We only got 3 images, that's why. And I wondered if that was what was going to happen. Guys, when you come over here and do these, run these little movie tools, if you don't go back further than 3 days, it'll give you that. You only get like 1 image every 12 hours. So, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it there. So, we won't do it there. But you can go look at the ghost system, guys. Well, we can check, see how far back this one's going right now. Yeah, it's not going to go back far enough either. But I can tell you that what I'm saying is, if you guys go look, the sun itself did not dim. That was a satellite thing, okay? At least in my opinion. And like I said, guys, you guys can probably prove that out by going and looking at other satellites during the same time frame. But I did notice that. Who mentioned that? It is kind of an odd looking little signature right there. I'm not sure exactly what caused that. My guess is some sort of light was getting into the imager, or maybe even space weather could be hitting it. We've seen that happen before. And that's, and when that happens, sometimes they'll put it into like an orientation roll. It's called a calibration roll, and it finds home again, and it does all that, right? So anyway, that's what I would say to that. But it's a good catch. Whoever was saying that, who said that? It's a good catch for sure. Christopher, I think, said that, right? Oh, you dry. Oh, so you're saying you physically seen it dim like that? Yeah, I wouldn't know what would cause that, brother. Um, I can say this: um, if it was if it was an actual dimming, if the sun actually did do something like that, I promise you probably would not be the only one reporting that. The whole planet would. So it's probably something optical, atmospheric where you were at. My opinion. That's it. It's all. It's just my opinion. I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong or anything like that. I just, in my opinion, that's what it would be. Um, and you said what, 6 to 10? I think, depending on where you're at on the planet, I'm not sure where you were at, but I live kind of in mid latitudes. The sun's going down like 8:30 right now, 9 o'clock, something like that. But yeah, I don't know where you're at though, brother. And I'm not doubting what you're saying at all. Okay, I'm really not. So just know that. I wasn't there, so I won't. I really don't have a really much of an opinion on that. But we did see a little bit of something here, but this was actually later than what you were saying. So this would be outside that time frame. I thought you were talking about this. My bad. All right. So anyway, this right here is the halo eruption, and that's what is actually coming at us. This was just a few hours ago today. Okay, so we're looking at 2.5, 3 days before that gets here. I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen as far as how I'm going to wait on more data to come in. But this is the magnetosphere. Guys, right now, I'm not even going to waste your time showing you this. We don't have a whole lot hitting this right now geomagnetically, so I don't want to sit here and waste your time on it. A near Miss CME, Dr. Tony Phillips is talking about here. It's one of the CMEs that I just showed you guys. I just went over all that with that model, so I'm not going to revisit that either. Sorry, there's just no reason to go. I don't want to repeat myself. I get ripped up in the comment section over that. So, but anyway, this right here, guys, is very interesting. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been following this. This is the astronaut, and I've been talking about too, the two astronauts that were stuck on the ISS because of the Boeing capsule, okay, that had been damaged. Well, they brought that thing back, and they did land it successfully. That's what this is, okay? I'm not exactly sure what their plan is for getting those guys off the ISS. There's two of them. I think they were supposed to be there for, 8 days or something like that? And they've been there for months now. So, yeah. And I've already talked about that also. Man, that would be so horrible for that to be happening. Yeah. So I'll just say that about that. You guys can come down here and look at near-Earth objects if you wanted to. Go give Dr. Tony Phillips some love over here at spaceweather.com. Okay? This is his webpage. He sees all kinds of crazy stuff. As far as, not crazy stuff. And what am I talking about? I'm getting tired, guys. I've been up all night. I'm serious. I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, he sees a lot of different things that we all talk about, right? But he is very, very knowledgeable. He's on top of this stuff. Okay? This is one of the websites I go to daily. I actually double check some of the stuff that I tell you guys with him. I've never talked to him, but I'll come over here and look at some of this stuff sometimes. And a lot of times I'll talk about something here live, and then I hadn't really looked at his page yet. I'll click over and he's talking about the same thing. So that makes it very relevant for me to be able to come over here and be like, hey, is somebody agreeing or disagreeing? And, guys, this guy is, he's got degrees and stuff. I don't. So obviously I'm going to defer to what he's going to be talking about. I mean, at least, an opinion wise, there's been times I've disagreed, and I tell you guys that, and I give you reasons why, and it's okay. It's okay to disagree with people. It really is. especially when it's a respectful discourse. That non-respectful crap can just hit the road. You know what I mean? It is, isn't it, Christopher? I mean, my gosh, insomnia sucks. It really, truly does. Hey, God. It gets me almost every night. Yesterday, I fell asleep for 3 hours in the middle of the day. You know, we were gone, and I was in the car, and it was just, my body just gave up. But I still can't sleep. It's a weird thing for me. It sucks. Insomnia sucks. And I refuse to go get medicine for it. I'm not doing any of that stuff. That's just a mistake. It would be for me anyway. But I will say this: I do take Benadryl, and that does seem to help a little bit sometimes. But yeah, other than that, I ain't going nowhere near it. Okay, so back to space weather. I'm sorry, guys. Did you guys give me a roll call? I think I kind of got off target there when I was trying to figure out the sun thing that Christopher was talking about. Yeah, for sure. I see you, brother. All right, let's now let me say this too. See, Christopher might completely disagree with what I just said right there, and it's okay. He's not mad. I'm not mad. We're talking. I wasn't even gonna. That didn't even just dawn on me till just right there. I mean, honestly, because that's how I've talked to Christopher in the chat here multiple times. So I mean, it just was a normal thing for me to do that kind of thing. It was not and I just wish more people could be like that with each other. That's all I'm saying. Christopher's respectful, always has been, and I always respect you guys. It's just cool when we can talk, even have different opinions. It really truly is. But anyway, this one here came from JPOS. And I believe it was Nevada County, California, where he's at. I'm sure you could look at these trees. These do look like trees you would see in California. But you can see kind of the purple colors here and maybe some of the greens. That looks like city lights on the other side of there, but I'm not sure. Check that out. I know it's kind of blurry, but who cares? That one is, but these aren't. These are just flat out awesome. You know, if I was to see something like this with my own eyeballs, I mean, guys, I'm a Christian. Texas, baby, Texas. Okay, about Florida. What's up, Alan? Hillsboro, Oregon. What's up, Chewy? Hey, folks. What's up, Rick? Mary from Texas. I already said hi to you. Dephyrhydramate. Yeah, it's guys, be careful with that stuff too. They're actually tying that together. Yeah, you know, Christopher, in order to get those things to work, you almost have to take too much of it. At least for me. But be careful taking dephyrhydramine too, guys, because that's Benadryl. They're figuring it's one of the top 10 that causes cognitive decline. In other words, it makes you a greater risk of having dementia if you're on that stuff long term. So be careful with that stuff. I just seen that the other day. The only reason why I'm bringing it up because I take that, and it, you know, maybe that's what's happening to me. I'm just kidding, but it could be, I guess. I don't know. I got more years behind me than I got in front of me now, guys. So, you know, I gotta start paying attention to something. But anyway, this is one of my favorite ones that JPOS sent here. You know, you got your reds and you got, guys, this is green down here, not yellow. And so when these two kind of get close to each other, because this is on the yellower side of the green, it will appear to be some orange there, but it's not real. It's not real orange. It's just how our eyes see it. Okay? I actually talked about that at nauseum. Look at that. I mean, the only thing that sucks about having still photographs is you don't get to see the Aurora dancing. And, yeah, and stuff like that. I mean, this right here, I mean, look at this. I didn't notice that. That might be my favorite one now. Check this out. You get your purples and your reds up here, which are nitrogen molecules mainly, okay? Your greens are mainly produced by oxygen. Then over here, you get your oranges and everything else from the two getting close to each other. The two layers are kind of getting smashed into one another, one on top of the other, so they're forced into the same layer of our atmosphere. Kind of crazy, huh? So when that's happening, you're seeing green and red in the same layer, essentially. So it appears like it's orange. There isn't a molecule there producing orange. So, and the reason why I know that is because the molecule that would produce orange, the other colors that that molecule would produce would drown out the orange. That's a fact. I can't remember what actual molecule we'd be talking about there, but yeah. So I actually dove pretty deep on that one. And Jammer, he's got the and by the way, Jammer, thank you for the mic, guys. He sent me a mic. I got it yesterday. It's awesome. So well, I got it today when I got home. Anyway, I got it. So thank you, Jammer. You're awesome, dude. Guys, that's what we do for each other in the background. I'm telling you, we take care of each other. Just so you know, he's a good dude, man. Good dude. He's my brother. So anyway, again, this is J-Pos. A lot of you guys probably know who J-Pos is. You guys head over to Marfugal. He's in the chat every night. And again, he's a mod here. So, all right. But that's all I got for you guys. If we do get, I'm going to give you some more updated information later today. I will probably most likely be doing the members only sometime this afternoon or this evening. It could get pushed to like 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, but I am doing the members only tonight. And we're going to be watching some Zoom Court. And yeah, we had a blast last time. I'll probably see if Trinity wants to stop in and maybe come live with me during the members only, or whoever else wants to, they can. I may even put a Zoom link out in the chat. If somebody wants to call in and ask a couple questions or whatever. But we're going to be watching Zoom. We're going to be having fun. That's what we're going to be doing. I have no problem talking about space weather too. If we get questions or somebody wants to talk about that, I will do that 100%. But we try to do some fun stuff over there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Man, I forgot to go look and see who won the deck of cards from that live stream. I will tell you guys that today, later on today, who won those decks of cards. Okay? And we may even give away another deck today. But Jammer's got some cards coming to him. I got his PO now, so we're good. But Hilly, love you, brother. It's good to see you in here and everybody else. But yeah, J-Pos, thank you for these pics. If you guys watch this on replay, please share this out. I know that this is a weird time for me to stream. Most people don't expect to see me at this time. So if you could help me get this one out, I would really appreciate it. With that being said, God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.